I have around 25 hours of extraction shooter experience through Arc Raiders, but my buddy Revolt, he has thousands of hours in Tarkov. So we sat down together to watch Operator Drewski's video, breaking down his reaction to how much Marathon has changed when he was out at Bungie. So the goal of today's video is to look through the lens of someone who loves Destiny, but hasn't really gotten into the extraction shooter side of things, to understand from someone who's been on the hardcore end of the spectrum what that actually looks like. I hope you guys enjoy this breakdown, and let's get into it. It has the sauce. You can just tell that the guns have the sauce. I think a lot of people ask, they're like, why do they pay for sponsored videos? A player could just not like the game. Yeah, watching him move through here with his shield is so satisfying, dude.
I'm really excited. I think it'll be great to create some space for a team. Many players that are a little less confident. I can be the bait. Yeah.
This is Marathon now. Solo queues? Yep, it's a thing. Time to kill? It's short.
So no duos. It is what it seems like from that statement he just said. Like, there's solos and trios, which is interesting. How is Tarkov?
There's no matchmaking, and you can go with parties of up to 6.
Oh, Jesus!
And I was a solo player. But the thing about Tarkov is there's no reses, and you can one tap people as long as you've got the right ammo.
I see.
So you end up just being like real sneaky, and it's a question of, do you want to go in like a platoon, or do you want to be like a stealth special forces operator type people?
Bro, it has the sauce. You can just tell that the guns have the sauce. Some first-person games where I don't feel that way. I think a lot of people ask, they're like, why do game companies, why do they pay for sponsored videos? Because there is a risk associated to it, right? There's a risk associated to the fact that a player could just not like the game, and you have that and you're paying for that. You're not necessarily going to completely like shit on the player. I heard, actually it was Tim the Tapman, he was watching Burnt Peanuts sponsored stream. He was watching a recap of it. I remember him asking Joe Ziegler, like, can we play another one? Like, can we go? And Joe's like, hey, I actually have like some meetings. And I think that was more Joe's way of saying like, hey, there are people at Bungie who are like producing this, their day's over, you know, stuff like this, because it was late. I think he was just being a good dude and like making sure that they didn't go too crazy. He wanted to continue playing, and that was a huge thing to me, because Tim made a point. He said, when you do these statements, he said, and Tim always makes it about McDonald's or like some sort of food related thing, right? And so he said, it'd be like if McDonald's sponsored something for me to try it on stream, and he's like, I'm not gonna say in the moment that I don't like it. If you guys see that I never have it again, or I never talk about it again, you're gonna know. Whereas Peanut like immediately was like, no, I want to keep playing. I would like to do this. You guys might think it's an ad because of that. It's very interesting. Don't like the look of the weapons. Too blocky. He said he knows he's in the minority, though. I do think you're in the minority, brother. I think when you get them in hand, though, I think they're going to be cool. What were you going to say? I'm sorry.
It seems like everyone that touches it is being converted, and it's, like, it's not only the sponsored content, but it's also everyone that I've known that have done the later betas. It's like, It just feels like it's pulling in people that may not have been interested in this genre to begin with.
But the thing is, it's colorful, like Manran just said, but it's dirtier than it was. All of the neon green of Marathon is oversaturated. Like, that's on purpose, right? Now it's dirty. This actually, I'm going to go back because I want you guys to hear this point, because it's literally the point that Drewski's making at this point.
It's still there and is still something I'm getting fully used to, but now positively dirtier, with places getting a noticeable but subtle uplift of wear and environmental damage. And then there's the sound in the game. You go from to claustrophobic interiors.
Dude, I just can't wait.
In gunfights, the gunshots and equipment sounds reverberate off the walls. And
it's so pretty. I haven't seen these long form explorations to the inside.
Dude, this looks visceral too. Like the hand-to-hand combat on the UESC seems like gnarly, dude.
Yeah, that's enough yapping about it. Let's actually play it.
The shotguns too. At one point where there is a bubble shield that he goes inside of, and this person's kind of like just held up in there, I think trying to heal up. Inside the bubble shield, he takes one step inside and one taps him to the head with the shotgun, and it just completely knocks him. Oh, it's so satisfying, dude. So here, guys, I'm gonna go clean screen for a second. I want you guys to see the UI here, so you can kind of see what's going on. So abilities down in the bottom, we have a base ability on the F. There's a secondary ability. I don't know the names of these yet. So remember, I've not actually played Marathon. I've not been hands-on with it, but here are some of the things that I'm seeing. Got round timer in the top left corner. Obviously our compass here. I love the number system. I know that that's something that's just like a normal gaming thing, but these are all upgrades that I'm talking about when it comes to the difference between a game like Marathon and Destiny. You have a ping system in Marathon. I have been desperate for a ping system inside of Destiny for so freaking long, and we don't have that, but we do have that here. You can use the numeric callouts. You can use the directional callouts. So that's stuff we don't have in Destiny. Like, we wouldn't have to have these conversations on like north, south, east, west, top, bottom, left, right, whatever. We could just say the directions if we had that in Destiny. That's a little thing, but it's not like inconsequential, right? You can see different types of weapons at the bottom. It is going to take us some time to figure out what these weapons are, you know, just by the models and shapes, but I'm excited by that challenge. So does anything stand out to you UI wise, like just on this screen here?
Generally, they've done a really good job making it feel like approachable. And I think they've done a really good job on that. I think there's been sort of a really tough balance that you have to walk on an extraction shooter between making it have stakes while also making it not feel like a job to figure out how to get there. So I think it looks familiar. Like when you're looking at this, you're like, oh, this looks like Apex. This looks like Call of Duty. You know, it looks a fair bit like Destiny, of course. And I think they've done a really good job making it easy to understand while also being very, very in its style with the fonts and everything. Like it does feel alien and foreboding. And that ping system that you mentioned is just going to be a huge deal. I think one of the biggest issues, and you see it in Destiny, it was also obviously an issue in Tarkov, is just like callouts are really, really hard, and pings will shortcut that and just give people one less thing that they have to figure out how to do and just get people in the door. And once people understand what's cooking here, they'll love it, I think.
I'm not sure off the top of my head. Like, I don't actually know what is and isn't included in the free-to-play weekend. Like, I know that I don't think you're going to be able to play as Thief in the free-to-play weekend, which I think is a little disappointing. It'll be interesting to see what they do and don't include in that free-to-play portion. I think you get 2 maps. So there's 2 different maps, and then there are a couple of different ones. So I'm going to bring the sound back here. Let's watch a little bit of their gameplay here as they work as a team.
Oh. Down the hole left. One more. Coming right.
I thought that guy was only running 1 gun, but he was actually running 2 weapons and his knife, but they shrink down the UI when you're like mid combat, which is interesting. This is what the looting screen looks like. If you guys have not seen this before, this is the breakdown. So you can see your loadout value at the top left here. I'm not actually sure. Is that ever a consideration for you, Revolt? Like when you're going through and you're looking at the value, like, do you care that much, or you just, or is that just a visual indication of like, hey, this is how crappy it would be for you to lose everything right now? No.
One of the big things that comes up a lot in Tarkov, and it's going to be the same thing here, I'm sure, given that they're even calling that out, was value per slot. It looks like everything, I don't know, I guess that one might be a 2 spot, but you're going to be worried about, got a limited number of backpack slots, and almost for sure you're going to find more loot in the raid than you're going to be able to pull out. So making sure that you're optimizing the value that you can extract is going to be huge. If you don't need anything for a quest, if you're literally just worried about the cash value, that cash per slot is like the single most important thing for looting in Tarkov. I expect that's going to be consistent with.
Interesting.
But it's also sort of an optimization that you're not going to worry about that your first week or 2. Like you're just sort of getting in, getting out.
We can push north to Holler.
That was the first look at the map that I've seen. This is for perimeter. So we have North Relay at the top, Station, top right, Holler, which is straight west. Southwest, we have Overflow. And then finally, southeast, we have Relay. They're kind of set up in this star pattern. Okay, so the Exfils are loading. That's interesting. So is that something that's normal? Because I don't think in Arc Raiders, like, aren't the Exfil points in Arc, like, I think they're always on the map from the jump.
So yeah, Arc, they're from the jump, and I believe they just close down over time. They don't open up partway through. In Tarkov, you have your list of available exfils, but a lot of them don't open up until a certain amount through, or I guess require certain exfil conditions.
Finding out like where the exfils are, because I think that they're static in Arc, but you're right. Like over time, like as you stay more in the fight or you stay in the raid longer and longer, it's going to shrink down. I was explaining it to Heather as it's kind of like the Fortnite effect of the storm closing. Like you're not going to die naturally because you're on like the outer rims of it, but if everything's moving to the center, longer you stay in a raid in Arc Raiders or a run for Marathon, like you're upping the ante in and of itself, like on yourself. So
in my experience with Tarkov has sort of been that it's like a U shape for risk, where early on everyone's going to be blitzing that exfil, and then most of the people get out, but then come the last 5 minutes, then you have to get out or you'll lose.
Yeah, I can see myself playing this game multiple ways, going in and just trying to like loot as much stuff as possible, take it out, and being as Peanut likes to put it, gooped up as much as you can before you leave, right? But you're making it sound like that U shape in Tarkov, you start at the beginning, like you said, it drops off and then it ramps back up. What is the reason for it? So many quick exfils at the beginning of a game of Tarkov.
Going to be questing and high value loot in particular. Presumably you're going to have like certain areas that are going to be the hot spots, and people are going to need to get there. Probably loot is going to be one that drives it most consistently, but also early on, I don't know what the quest structure looks like, and maybe we'll find out. With Tarkov, it's like a regular path. It's not randomized at all. So everyone, especially that like first week of the wipe, everyone's going to be doing that first 20-30 quests, and they're all going to have the same place to go. Some of them you can share, and very rarely people will collaborate on that. A lot of them, it's just not worth the risk to have a loose end while you're trying to get your quest done. So you're just going to kill them right off the bat, so that way they don't get you later when you're not expecting. So yeah, you're going to have that initial, like, people are going to run to their quest. A lot of them require that you exfil after you've picked up a certain item.
Okay.
So you want to make sure that you just cash that out as soon as you can.
I got you. That was my next question.
And then after that, things get quiet.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the quest structure is inside of Marathon. There is some stuff in Arc right now that I've been doing where it's like, hey, I just want you to experience this quest. Like it's actually feels more like a story mission than any, if that makes sense. You're saying feels more like it's still an extraction shooter game. Go in, get the object, and get out. There's some little random things in Arc where you're like trying to do community building. So I need to find a deflated soccer ball and a bicycle pump or whatever. Try to bring those both back to a certain trader or vendor in the game. And I'm wondering if there's going to be like a mix of that, or if it's all going to be extraction based or whatever. So I'm assuming there's at least some extraction based in Marathon, but it would be interesting to see a blending there.
I'm going to guess Arachne is going to offer something that you don't see at all in Arc based on what you've said, which is something that does exist in Tarkov, which is there's a bunch of Tarkov missions that are kill X players while using a certain gun or while wearing certain terrible armor. So certain things like that, your questing and your PvP are going to be aligned.
I see. Interesting.
And I think Arachne for sure is going to be all about that.
Yeah. The person playing triage here, what they're doing is they're using their ability to take their little drone buddy. Now, there's a bunch of names you could give it. However, I believe Scarrow has dubbed this buddy Squish. What this drone does is you can give them to your teammates, and then when you apply certain buffs or healing effects and different things to yourself as triage, which again is this bluish character on the left-hand side, when you use your abilities to heal yourself, it actually transmits those to your other characters in your party too. So it's really cool. You don't have to be next to each other here. So I want you guys to know, like, they're playing different characters. Triage is giving drones to all the different people. So
one for you.
Oh yeah, okay.
Oh wait, I have one on me.
Is that
I
a
don't want
temporary thing? It's slowly healing my shield.
Yeah, it should heal you. And then I want to try this too.
Is it something to put on in combat or out of combat?
So
Will it stick on me forever?
Yeah, I think it until it gets shot off. So this should give us a boost, Drew, to our agility and stuff.
Yep. Okay, watch out for ticks.
okay, so the cardio, so they did basically the adrenaline shot from Arc Raiders, that to go across and increase the cardio of all the characters that in your party. That's actually pretty sick. I like that a lot. This is a cool environmental moment here. So check out these ticks that are about to drop out of these. They said they pinged a tick nest. Watch this here. This is cool.
Oh, yep, there they go. Left.
Recon will remain stable for 20 minutes.
It also.
I'm gonna scout up with the drone here.
Slower.
Right, shots right. Was that your shot?
No.
They got a notice that they had a radar scan, or I'm sorry, their scanner is jammed. They got a notice here, and they can hear that there's a team around. So one of the guys calls out that he's going to send his drone out to recon it.
No.
Here, I think you're going to show it here in just a
Yeah,
moment.
they're right behind us, in the same ditch.
Throwing my spider
Oh
scanner.
my god, they're right here.
Doing my ult. They're right here, pushing close.
Okay, so he has now pinged all the threats, so you can see them.
One's down.
Got another one down. On me.
The other two are left.
Interesting. That looks like a scout rifle type thing.
I'm gonna get
Drew,
this guy.
I'm gonna heal us, Drew.
This guy's probably gonna self-heal down here. Sorry, buddy.
Beginning our heal here, Drew.
Yep. Oh, that's you, Will. Okay.
Something I saw related to this weather here that's pretty neat is I heard that if you're in the rain or in the water, your heat generates more slowly and dissipates more quickly. And I thought that was like really, really cool and kind of no reason, but also like interesting. Like who would think that you could run faster in the rain?
Did you watch any of the Peanut footage when he was playing on the original map? They had heat rain, which was exactly what it sounds like.
God.
Basically just pouring storms of fire rain pouring in, and you would get a big notice on the screen, and it will hurt you when you're outside. If you're outside when it's coming down, you actually have to dip into the different room, like into the different buildings or under awnings. The effect when you go under like awnings or anything of that sort, kind of that same effect when you're driving down the interstate and you go under an overpass, and you have that brief moment of respite where you're not getting pummeled by the rain, and then you get through on the other side and it hits again on the car. Like it was super cool to be able to see that effect where you could see the like fire rain coming down on the right hand side, and then like under the awning there's nothing, right? And like him just that little bit of like, okay, do we push this and take some damage as we're going from point A to point B, or do we just wait? Because it's not consistent. It doesn't run the entire time. It kind of happens in waves throughout the round.
Oh, that is really, really cool.
GT's excited for marathon armor in Destiny.
Which worked really well.
Inevitable, brother. Inevitable. This is what it looks like when you loot a downed enemy here.
Little drone as well, which I think stopped one of them from sprinting.
All right, so Will, come here. Now I want to see if I can put this drone on you.
Interesting.
So that appears to be Triage's Q ability. I don't know what those, I can't remember what those abilities are called in particular, but it looks like F might be a less consequential ability, and Q is your like a higher level functionality there. I'm not sure what they have on V.
Okay, sweet. So now all of us have drones. Oh man.
Oh wait.
Thief has the grapple hook and then has the ability to throw out a little butterfly drone, different than Squish, which is on the screen right now. This little butterfly drone almost like unfolds like the new Samsung folding phones, like is literally what it looks like, and you throw it out, and what it can do is it can fly across the map, and it will find players. Like you manually drive it, but you find players, and then you hit an ability or you hit some sort of key. I don't know if it's like left click or whatever it is, but you use like a whip that comes out of the drone, and it rips gear out of that player's stash, like their backpack, and it pulls it onto the ground. Later on in the video, they send out the butterfly drone. It goes out, and he starts pulling the heals out of the person's backpack. This person was like kind of like toggle peeking out of a door onto this high up patio area, and as they're toggle peeking, he keeps pulling the heals out, and so the person has to try to come out, and one of the guys had him lined up with a sniper at the perfect moment and took him out as he was trying to collect his heals back. It was crazy, dude.
Oh, right, it's another AI. We're good.
Got it. I'm going in.
So this might seem dumb, but I heard that the UASC take more damage to the head. Just so you guys know, if you're like, man, that was tanky. He didn't hit like any headshots right there. That's why I didn't die in that full clip there. But yeah, if you hit headshots, I think it hits faster.
Inside must be very muffled.
Oh, there's a team.
That's another team inside. I'm going back out. I'm hurt.
Okay, so he threw the spider drone out there. I want to see if we can try to identify. It looks like it has pinged. It's hostile ping detected, and you can kind of see where they're at. You can't see them like physically through the walls, but you can at least see like their general vicinity.
Yeah, slowly regenerating health is a really nice balance concession. I think one of the things that makes healing so impactful in Tarkov is how long it takes, but it also feels terrible. Sort of will keep you out of the fight, but it won't keep you locked in that animation that feels so bad. It's like a very long animation. I think the animations, like if you get like an arm blacked out, I don't think Matt's here. It's 25 seconds of animation, I think, for that.
Really? Ugh.
Yeah, it's bad.
To the right as well.
They're up top, second row.
Okay, so that Triage throwing out more drones, trying to get the heals off so he can do. Now, I don't know if there's an order of operations thing that's going on, right? So, like, he may have played that poorly because he started healing himself first, and then he threw the drone out. I don't know if it's something where, like, you're actively being healed by your whatever buff or whatever item you just used. I don't know if then you could throw out a drone. That it seems like it wouldn't, in my opinion, but maybe it's something where it's just like a global whatever you are affected by in this moment, then you're benefiting. I'm not sure.
There's a bubble shield on me over here. Oh, yep, I'm on one. Got him.
Damn, it's so visceral, bro.
I'm so sorry.
Walking runner.
That right there, that whole sequence right there of him going in, being able to break that through the bubble shield, and then that animation stabbing and just completely deteriorating that enemy. That is what a delay will do for your game. The amount of polish that it will give. Like, look at the lighting on this. You can see these smooth materials behind triage here, how they reflect, and they just have like a different texture to everything. The gun itself has like such a good texture to it and how it's catching the light. You know, people will talk about the engine that Destiny's built on and stuff. I actually don't know what they've built Marathon in. This is a generational leap from where Destiny is. Destiny looks great. They did like a half generational step up when they did their Beyond Light. Like they set themselves up for it, and then with every expansion they've done that. This is a generational leap when it came to FPS games from Destiny.
Yeah, it's real quick. Just gotta take a quick break.
That's all 3, right?
They do still use the bathroom.
Coming.
Oh, it's a different team.
Coming. Oh, so there.
Dude, that thermal is sick too.
I'm ulting. Here, look for scan marks.
Echo post.
There we go. Moving left, outside.
I want to see that ability, the drone ability that he just used, where he says, I want to get drones back on you guys. I want to know if you can stack those, right? Like if you could have 2 drones at once where you can hit multiple teammates at once, or if it's something where you use one and then it cools down and then you use another.
Here, something clambering over behind us, where we came, in this floor, right here.
Oh, that's a big boy.
Big guy.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's on me.
Where'd he go?
Maybe players here.
I got him.
No. Did he just run away through here?
He's absolutely jump scared, and then he tries to melee the big boy.
That healing drone is super nice.
Yeah, that character's phenomenal.
Just use my ult again. No.
Especially just being new.
Purple one, coming in the hall.
I punched him.
Nice. It looks good. Oh, it looks good. Juwan, I think that Marathon at base is $40. However, there's a free to play or a free to try weekend starting this Thursday. So Thursday, February 26th, all the way through March 2nd. So if you want to play, you want to try it out before you spend any money on it, make sure you play it then. Some of these environments that they're like leapfrogging across and things like that are so cool too.
I really like the variety of environments. The difference between like the planet outside of a building and inside of a building are just 3 very different vibes.
It's true.
Let's flank around to the right and get right behind.
Okay, so that right there, guys, that was the butterfly drone that I was talking about from Thief. Dude, it looks so cool.
To the right, get right, the small one. He ran to the other side of the building.
Somebody's down. He's dead. There's somebody in here with me.
I'm looking. I feel like I hear movement right here.
Yeah, that's where he is.
On the roof.
Dude, him being able to figure out that the guy was on the roof using that drone was so satisfying.
Coming your way. Oh, I got him with the knife. Come on now. Player. To the right, over here. Broke him. Doing my little scanner drone.
Come here, explain yourself. Explain yourself.
I just killed the commander, alright? They had some pretty decent stuff, I could drop it for you.
Did you see that? There was like a little thing. He popped up on the screen. I missed it the first time, but he popped up on the screen that the drone like finishes healing and runs out of like healing capabilities, and you can watch it fall out of the sky.
Alright, pretty decent stuff.
It gets
I didn't even notice.
Here, watch it. It gets the little X eyes on it.
That's so cute.
It's interesting when you go frame by frame. There's 2 drones on the screen at the same time.
Yes,
That's funny, but it gets a little red X eyes and then it just falls out of the sky. You wouldn't be able to see it unless you go frame by frame like that, but that is funny.
Pretty decent stuff, I could drop it for you.
I don't know if I trust you.
So guys, if you're not aware, there is this character right here that this guy is playing. This is known as Rook. This Rook is basically like a scav character. You actually have the ability, I think the ultimate ability or you have an ability where you can blend in with the UESC, not to enemy players, like not to like other actual runners, but to the UESC themselves. So like you could go in, if you use that ability, you can move throughout them without consequence, I guess. They won't know you're there and you can kind of use that to your advantage. Yeah, you can kind of see it kind of has a more of the appearance of the UESC here.
It's
You grab that?
Yeah.
I see it. Oh yeah, I got it.
So they were able to work together with the Rook, drop a self-revive for this character, and then basically through proximity chat, they're adding a fourth player into their team, which is really cool.
You're gonna work for us.
I'll be curious to see if that becomes common with Rook players.
There's some people that say on site they're killing them, and then there's some people that are saying that they're gonna let Rooks live. So it's interesting to me.
There's incentives for like Scavs and Tarkov to kill players or like the regular players.
Okay.
It seems like they're advertising that Rooks may want to collaborate to get more loot.
So there are, Jawad, there are 6 different runners, and then Rook would be considered the 7th.
We can shoot it out of the sky, I'm pretty sure. It'll drop that box.
That grapple looks so fun.
It does. They definitely took the strand inspiration from it. I heard someone else talking about the grapple effect. It was a non-Destiny player's video, and they're like, "Yeah, you don't even need a grapple point to do this. You can just do it anywhere in midair." Yeah, you have never played strand grapple.
Inject. Oh my, that scared me.
Yeah.
Burrowing through the door.
The way the Rook lights up every time they look at him.
Mm-hmm.
To shoot by accident, I just know it.
Oh, for sure. Okay, so he used one. Okay, that gave me my answer. So he used one, and it looks like it's a 20-second cooldown between that one and the next one. So it's not an instantaneous, like you can use it across your whole team.
There's only one left.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that stinks. That's the first time they showed the map since we looked at it earlier. There's only one exfil point now. I don't know how many there would be. It'd be interesting to also see, because I think some maps are going to vary in size. I wonder if there's a variation on how many players will be on the map at any given time. I don't know if they've confirmed that. Maybe they have, maybe they haven't. It will be interesting to see how many exfil points there are.
It would be surprising to me if they didn't have variation.
Dude, he's got a smile on his face. What are you talking about?
Oh God.
Yeah, big squad.
Ooh.
I guess that only works for players.
Okay, so did that just drop in? I think it just dropped in on them UESC. So like in Arc Raiders, like you can set to exfil. You may or may not interact with the Arc in that moment. That just straight up dropped UESC forces on them, which is interesting because that's gonna require you to light up that area, drawing more attention to you no matter what. Whereas if you get lucky in Arc Raiders, you can kind of mask you'll still hear the exfil sound in Arc, but you're not necessarily having to do the gunfire associated with it too. Because I think sometimes players are like, oh, I'm gonna go third party that team because they're already firing and they're focused on something else. They're using their ammo. They're gonna have to reload if I engage with them. And I'm full health, full locked in. They don't even know I'm coming. There's something enticing to that. So I think it's interesting that they're dropping this on teams here. Like upon exfil and just saying, yep, you want to get out of here, you're going to really have to work for it. Very interesting. Is it only PvP in Tarkov, or is there any kind of PvE threats?
There's PvE.
There
PvE
is
a major threat. It's very similar to this, and the PvE is a significant threat in Tarkov. And I think it's got to be. It's really important for the way it slows down the map. You can't just run wherever you want to go.
Okay.
And then also obviously the noise that's associated with any of this fighting, like extra loot. Like there's some value to it. There's a lot of decisions you have to make around them.
Yeah. I can't tell who's who in there. If our buddy's in there. Hey, the charging handle on this gun is a charging handle. That's cool. Oh, what just happened? Someone shot you! Someone shot him. GG's. Someone shot the guy at the very last second. Yeah, look, there's the person that sniped him.
There was literally a last team.
I wonder if they tried to help us.
I don't know.
But they were like, they probably thought it was an AI, so they just shot him.
Interesting. So guys, that is what it looks like to go in, loot, in exfil. Now there was a lot of exploration there. It felt less like structured than what I kind of assume that it may feel like if you're going in for questing purposes, things of that sort. Like I never saw a big drop in this gameplay where it was like, holy shit, like I found this and this was like super high value, like we have to get out of it, out of here with this. That's something that I do see like with the blueprints and stuff inside of Arc Raiders. It'll be interesting. Now there is no safe pocket in this, and there is in Tarkov though, right?
Yeah, and that's one of the biggest like loot things they hold out in front of you. That's the reason to progress the quest is you can get bigger ones.
You can expand your safe pocket, folks.
You can spin that how you want to.
There you go. Yeah, however you want to. Exfil safely if you want to keep anything inside of Marathon. Let me ask you one more question before we end this little portion here. So I struggle with Arc Raiders. I've never played Tarkov before. I've barely even seen Tarkov, if that makes sense. Like it's just something that hasn't crossed paths with, or I've not crossed paths with a ton. One thing that I heard about Marathon that I applied to Arc Raiders recently, your weapons are not yours. You're just holding them for the next person, right? Like you're kind of holding on to them. And what is yours is your account progression, your quest progression, your stash, you know, what you get out, but like the stuff you take in there, like honestly turning off or maybe like flipping the switch on like having your in-game identity being tied to these items that you collect and loot. How does that resonate with you as someone who's played like way too much Tarkov and stuff? Like, is there any validity to that, or are you like, nah, it still is really important, like whatever loot I come out with?
It's completely true. I think sort of there's a few ways that that's true that you'll sort of experience over time. The first thing is obviously like go ahead and use your gear. I'll hold my gear. I wouldn't necessarily just spend it willy-nilly. I know that like one of the quests has me going into like a high violence area with a lot of players. Well, hey, that's a really good time for me to like invest some additional resources into that. And it may work, it may not, but you know, you just take what you can. As you start getting better, you'll gain the confidence that you can get weapons when you need to, and it's not like you're just going to be like, oh no, I've got nothing and I'm going to go hit people with a crowbar. Like that's never going to happen. You'll just find routes that are safer that you'll take instead. And then I guess the other flip side of it is, you know, when you are doing something that's a little more conservative with gear, you'll start to figure out the ways that like you can use your cheap gear to get a drop on somebody and have a high probability of taking their valuable gear. And you'll start sort of realizing the ways you can parlay like kind of trash into something a little less trash and trade up.
Got you.
I think the last piece of the gear puzzle that is going to be really, really exciting for people, that I think people are always worried about losing their gear, but oh my God, I have such specific memories of like dropping my first Chad in Tarkov and getting the loot. And like this dude had more on him than I'd ever seen in the game at that point. I like my heart was beating out of my chest. I could barely think. I could barely breathe. And getting that to Exfil, like I remember that to this day. And this is probably a decade past because of what a special moment that was.
Yeah.
And it's really, really cool. Like the dopamine spike of getting gear is me a lot better. Like it's more impactful than the feeling of losing. And I say that as someone that like in real life gambling, I feel the exact opposite. Losing feels way worse than winning in gambling. The looting for me, it feels so good to get that loot. So just go ahead and like risk whatever you got because you know, easy come, easy go, and it's worth it to try and get more.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, man, thank you for hanging out with me through this. If you guys have not already watched this Operator Drewski video, please go watch it. Please go give it the view. Please go give it your likes and comments, any thoughts that you might have on it, because it's well worth it. And I think that this is something where he even says at the beginning of the video, he said this was sponsored by Bungie, but I was surprised by it because I disliked the earlier playtest so much, and it was like a sign of confidence for it. So guys, I understand this game's not going to be for all Destiny players. I understand it's not going to be for everyone in the world, but I would urge you, give it a shot in this like 5-day playtest that we have going on from the 26th to the 2nd. Get out there and give it a shot. At least see if it's for you before you put any money into it, and give it a shot. Don't put a dime into it until you give it a full thing. But if you don't play and then down the line you're like, man, I wish I could have got a chance to try this, you can't say at that point that they didn't try to give you an option. So yeah, that's the last thing I got on Marathon right now. So I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to hop into it, and we'll do that soon enough. Once again, Revolt, thank you very much, man. Appreciate it, bro.